Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening. Gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, we have been enlightened to be able to see the difference between the wicked and the children of light. It's not as simple as looking at someone's skin color. You have to look much deeper than that. Been having some conversations with people, and you can tell when they are always trying to put the same answer into everything that they are demons. And this is one right here. Now, we've talked about Proverbs 11 and 1 and how, this unjust system that has been set up is an abomination to the Most High. Now, the world, as we're now bringing out the truth, because see, many people that look like us are content with letting the Edomites dictate what we should and should not get. Now, we've been mistreated for hundreds and hundreds of years. And now at the end, they try to throw us a little bone like a woman of color for a VP position, a woman of Asian descent, and we're supposed to be happy with that. You'll hear Trump supporters saying, oh, Trump has done the most for black people. He had, the lowest unemployment rate. They had the most jobs or something stupid like that. Does that now negate the hundreds and hundreds of years of white supremacy? But see, that's all they can say. That shows you that they're demons. We're saying, many times I'll tell people, I don't care about either political party. You could be a Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter to me, because neither have done right by our people. And then what will their answer be? Well, Trump did the most for black people. That's it. Like they'll take that same answer for everything. And I'm like, well, I don't care about Trump. I don't care about what he does. Trump has done the most for black people. And that's all they'll say. They'll ignore, well, what about the last, 400, 500, 600 years, all the rape, robbery, and murder of what all your people have done? Trump has done the most for black people. That just shows you that their programming is stuck. That's all that they can do. They cannot look further back. So no matter what we say, their answer is always going to be Trump has done the most for black people. That's what they do. And that's what shows you that you're working with demons. And then you talk about the blue, the Democrats. Oh, they have given us the first black vice president. Okay, well, what about all the other things? What about the things that they've done when Bill Clinton was in office and put us in jails, set up all of these, heinous laws to lock our people up? Well, we have given you the first female black president. Okay, well, hold on. What about all the other things that they've done? Putting drugs in our system, in our communities. What about them setting up all these redlining and not letting our people be able to buy property? Putting our people in jail and with these horrible laws for very minute things. We have given you the first female black president. Same thing. That's exactly what they do. So when you understand that, and if you tell them, I don't care about either party, one group will say, we have done the most for black people. We've given you guys jobs. And the other one is, we have given you the first female vice president. And then that's it. That just negates everything else that they've done to us for the last 400 years. We should be happy about that. That shows you the demonic realm that we are in. They think that they get to somehow dictate how they're going to pay us back for what they've done to us. And as you can see, they are incapable of doing that. That's why it says right here in the Coptic Gospel of Thomas, it's in the Lost Scriptures book. It says, whoever has come to understand the world has found only a corpse. And whoever has found a corpse is superior to the world. See, it's not about just your skin color. There are many blacks and whites, that browns, yellows, anywhere between, that are just like those demonic robots that only say what they've been given, and that is it. That's why you have to look deeper. That's why you have to look to see who it can accept the truth. No matter what your standing is going to be in the truth, you must be able to accept it. Whatever standing that is depends on the Most High. But just thank the Most High if He's opened your eyes to be able to see and accept the truth. Everything else around us is nothing but dead weight. So again, the Coptic Gospel of Thomas. If you have that book, the Lost Scriptures book, it's going to be on page 24. It says in the Coptic Gospel of Thomas, whoever has come to understand the world has found only a corpse. And whoever has found a corpse is superior to the world. Anyone that understands what's really going on around us is superior to the world. That's why this world has worked so hard to make it seem like we're all equal, and we're not. We were never equal in their society. We were always at the bottom. So now as the Most High flips this upside down, we're going to be put on top. They're going to be going to the bottom. And that's why a lot of these things, as far as them trying not to have us talk about the other pastors and priests, is because they don't want to be exposed. As long as evil is hidden, it can prosper. Once the evil is exposed is when it can be destroyed. And that's also in the Nag Hammadi. When I find out where I have it in my notes here, I'll probably make another video talking about that. But when evil is allowed to, stay underground and be hidden, it'll prosper. And that's what it's been doing for the last few hundred years. As we've been, put under the spell or the sleep, evil has been able to prosper because it's been able to hide itself. And as you can see, very few to none, very, very few people work to expose the evil because they're all intertwined together. Let's read a little bit of this article. We're only going to read a couple of little parts, okay? Biden's first day says, good morning. The Biden administration begins to address the 6 crises that the new president described in his inaugural address. And these 6 crises that he's dealing with are huge. And the thing is that they can't do anything about it because these are just the beginning of their crises and the beginning of their destruction. And they're trying to work for us to get to be unified so we can, counter this. The only way that they see it, that they can actually get some reprieve, is if the Most High's chosen people are in there praying with them. Because that's the only one that's communicating with the Most High, are his people. The Most High is only listening to his children. But even with that, they still aren't going to be able to get any mercy. Same thing happened with their forefathers. The wicked, the forefathers of the fallen angels. They came down, had their way with the people and the women like they wanted to. And then when it was time for their destruction, They knew that they could not go and talk to the Most High. So they asked Enoch to intercede for them. And when Enoch actually went to go and try to intercede for the fallen angels, the Most High said no. The Most High. So even with us trying, you guys trying to even get us to intercede for you, it's not going to matter. When the Most High says it's judgment time, that's what it is. And now what you see is happening here is the same thing. Judgment. It says, near the end of his inaugural address yesterday, President Biden named 6 crises that the U.S. faces: the virus, climate change, growing inequality, racism, America's global standing, and an attack on truth and democracy. The virus, the plague, has been unleashed, just like it was unleashed on us when it was time for us to be swept off the land. Climate change. You guys have ran this world into the dirt. You have not respected the earthly mother or her creation. And now that you've ran it to the earth, now you're realizing it's a problem. And it's a problem that's going to have consequences. You don't get to just, pollute the earth, destroy the waters, destroy the air, destroy the animals, and think that you're not going to have any consequences. Heaven on earth was given to you when you guys came over here on the 4th part. And all you've done is destroy everything that the Most High has given you. Next, growing inequality. See, that's your unjust weights. That's your system. That's an abomination. Proverbs 11:1. And now you have to pay for that. And you don't get to pay with it by, oh, well, things are the best. We gave these blacks the best, as Trump likes to say, and his followers love to say, that they've made things so much better for us. It's like walking, when you're destroying us for 500 plus years, and you guys turn around and throw us a crumb, and then, okay, that makes up for the whole last 400 or 500 years. It's not going to work like that. It would work like that if you guys were the ones doling out, recompense and punishment, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be the Most High, and He's going to make you pay. Racism. Well, we already know that this is a white supremacist society. So all the Trump supporters always love to just ignore that fact. How could a white supremacist and a group of white supremacists actually do well by our people? Something was so dumb. Someone was like, oh, they were releasing black people from jail. You could have kept those guys in there with the Kodak Black, right? And Lil Wayne. Are you guys serious? What about the other millions of people that you have put in chains, or you put in prison, or you lynched? You think just, letting Barabbas go, I guess, is going to be enough to make up for all the things you've done? Of course, if it's you guys making all the decisions, it would be. But that too bad for you. Lucky for us, the Most High is making those decisions. America's global standing. Well, that's all part of it. The global standing you guys set up anyways was all a farce. You made it sound like that you guys were a golden city on a hill, above reproach, who did everything with fairness and dignity. But when you look at the real history, nothing can be further from the truth. An attack on truth. You guys never told the truth from jump. You guys have never told the truth about who was here, what was here, and what you've done since you've gotten here. You guys haven't told the truth about absolutely anything. So don't make it sound like all of a sudden now it's an attack on truth. You guys have been the ones who've been, attacking the truth, hiding the truth of who we are, hiding the truth that the people here were the so-called, the so-called blacks that you guys love to say, the so-called natives that you guys like to call us, are the true children of the Most High. And democracy, demon rule, democracy, demon rule. We're not even going to get into that. Nobody wants any demon rule over here anyways. It says, any one of these will be enough to challenge us in profound ways. But the fact is, we face them all at once, Biden said. We will be judged, you and I, by how we resolve these cascading crises of our era. No, you're being judged now, not for how you handle these crises. You're being judged now because of all the things you've done before, which has led up to this point. All this is just judgment for what you've done to the Muslim children people for the last few hundred years. But see, they skip over that and make it sound like we're going to be judged by how we handle these crises. You're not going to handle these crises. They're only going to get worse because this is your judgment. So you're not going to be judged on how you handle these crises. You're being judged right now because of what you've done to the Most High's chosen people. You're being judged right now for all of the dirt and the horrible, heinous things you've done to the Most High's chosen people, and the fact that you have hidden it and you are not admitting the truth. I'm going to skip on down. We got the virus right there. We don't want to talk about that. We're going to climate change. Yeah, we got that. Inequality and racism. Biden's biggest attempts to reduce economic and racial inequality will require congressional legislation. But he took some early steps on yesterday, okay? He has extended moratoriums on evictions and student loan payments that the Trump administration had put in place. He also ordered federal agencies to root out racially unequal policies. Yeah, okay. Like I said, it's like letting themselves just try to fix their own problems. You guys set this system up. You're not going to be able to fix it now. Trying to clean up everything now that daddy's home. Daddy walked in the house, and now all of a sudden, you left a huge mess, and now you're trying to fix a couple of things while he's opening the door, while he's putting the key, in the door and starting to turn that lock. Now all of a sudden you're trying to rush and clean up this mess that you made. It says we have great evidence from economists that tearing down barriers to advancement for men of color and women of all races fueled huge amounts of growth in the United States in decades past. The Times, Jim Tankersley said. Now, that's what I want to talk about right now. Look at this right here. We have great evidence from economists that tearing down barriers to advancement for men of color and women of all races fueled huge amounts of growth in the United States in decades past. See, they love to talk about people of color. Not all people of color got these curses. So please stop with the BS. See, they try to pick and choose, like, well, we're going to try to open up for everybody. No. You're going to take care of the Most High's chosen people. The Most High is not coming back for all women of color. He's not coming back for all people of color. He's coming back for his children. He's coming back for the children of light. He's coming back for the ones he's already awakened. But see, that's how they always try to help everybody else. Everybody. And they never want to help the Most High's chosen people. So when they're talking about the people of color, they're talking about just anybody that's not white. And the Most High, and not everybody, like you said, not all people have suffered under the curses. And there's plenty of our own people that have not suffered under the curses. People that look like us, that haven't suffered all the curses. Many of the 2/3 joined hand in hand with the wicked so that they would not be under the curses or be put so far deep under the curses, where they would be getting a lot of the perks from the system. This is why you have to look at the spirit of a person. And that's why this whole society is a dead society. Let me read something else here from Sylvanus, the book of Sylvanus and the Nag Hammadi. Everyone goes about in deceit. The whole earth is full of suffering and pain, things of which are no profit. That's what this whole world is right now. especially now that things have been flipped upside down. Now that they can't go out and do the things that they wanted to go do. Even now, with even the suffering they're going through, they're still not going to admit the truth. Hence why the Most High is about to turn up these plagues and these curses on them much more. Just like he did in Egypt. That's why he had to go with 10 plagues before the Pharaoh got the hint. But the Most High was the one that hardened Pharaoh's heart. So he's the one that's hardening the hearts of all these people worldwide to not see the truth, so that then he can turn up the heat even more. But this is what's happening right now. Odes of Solomon. If you're in the Old Testament pseudepigrapha, page 757, 9 through 13. And all of them who were lacking perished, because they were not able to express the word so that they might remain. See, when we're talking to these people and they can't answer us, or they give us the same answers, no matter what the question, this is pertaining to them. That's why these books have been hidden. Because you realize that when you start asking questions and they can't answer, or they give you the same mundane answer over and over again, it's because they don't have the spirit to be able to remain. Read that again. Odes of Solomon. All right. Old Testament pseudepigrapha book, page 757. All of them who were lacking perished, because they were not able to express the word so that they might remain. So when we say, you guys have to pay for what happened for the last 500 years, Trump did the most for black people. When you tell people that are Democrats, look, you're still gonna have to pay for all the things that happened to our people. Well, damn it, we gave you guys the first black, Asian, woman of color vice president. Isn't that good enough for you? They don't have the spirit to remain. So no matter how you pose the question, you start talking about, how they didn't allow us to, redlining. They'll same answers. You start talking about how, they raped our women, children. Well, they would still say same answers the way they've been saying. They're talking about splitting families up. They would say, same answers. They don't have any other comeback but those answers. They're showing you that, again, and all of them who were lacking perished. They are showing you that they are lacking and that they are going to perish. And these priests and these pastors who do not actually come up and talk about the truth. They don't come up and actually express the truth. They don't tell you that the Most High's books are only for the Most High's people. They don't tell you that the Most High loves his people. They hide all that information. Why is that? Because they'll be like, and all of them who were lacking perished. All the people that are around us that are lacking are going to perish. And their actions just prove what we're saying about a society of unjust weights. If you didn't have a society of unjust weights, you wouldn't have to try to give us or help us with all the things that have been that have happened to us in the past. There'd be no need to have to boost us up in the economic strata, because we've been put down so low. If you didn't set up an economy that was built to keep us down, you wouldn't have to try to throw us crumbs here at the end. If you hadn't had Edomites, Gentiles, white men, as being pretty much in power this whole time until the end, it wouldn't be such a big deal if you put the most qualified person in these governmental positions. Just like Barack Obama was such a big deal because he was the first, black president, but he's not even our people. Like, so we already know that. And when he got in office, he didn't care about taking care of his people, of our people. He cared about taking care of everybody else, but not our people. So the rest of the world is dead and doesn't want to recognize the fact that, not all skin folk are kinfolk. Not all black people are all, brothers and sisters. I said that's not how it is. But they've set up a society that's like that. So that when one of them gets raised up, who's not even our people anyways, they make it sound like it's a win for all black people, which it's not. The Hebrews, we have to raise up our own people. The Most High is going to raise up our own people above. That's how it is. We're not supposed to be raising up Gentiles above us anyways. They're only going to lead us into the ditch because they don't know anything. Why is that? Because they are lacking. Their spirits are lacking. And they're not going to be able to make it anyways. So just like I said there, and all of them who were lacking perished. So if they're lacking and they're going to perish, and if you're following them, you're going to perish too. So it's because they were not able to express the word so that they might remain. The only way you're going to get this word is through the Most High. The only way you're going to get this word is through the Holy Spirit. The only way you're going to get the word down here is through the ones that the Most High has ordained. So just going and following anyone isn't going to lead you to the light. Following these fake, phony pastors and priests is only going to lead you to the ditch. Why is that? Because they don't have the spirit. They are lacking. They are lacking the spirit. And they are lacking the true word and lacking true understanding. So I hope this helps to clarify, the fact that they've got all of these things, all of these judgments that have already fallen on them, and they make it seem as if how they handle these judgments is how they're going to be judged on. And that's like, no, you're already being judged by what you did to the Most High's chosen people. But since you refuse to acknowledge us, that's the biggest thing that they're hiding, is that their judgment has come because of what they've done to the Most High's chosen people. But that's okay. You're going to learn today, and you're going to get this understanding today as well. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.